Okay, let's talk about the classification of the bacteria. Now that we got to know how bacteria look like, we will classify bacteria by keeping in mind their certain characteristics. Before going into detail, let me tell you that why do we need to identify bacteria? Well, this is necessary to predict their pathogenicity, as a Staphylococcus aureus isolated from blood is more likely to be causing disease than Staphylococcus epidermidis. It is important to identify organisms that spread widely in the community and cause serious disease, such as Neisseria meningitis, so that preventative measures can be taken. Bacteria are identified using phenotypic, immunological, or molecular characteristics. We can classify bacteria in accordance with their number 1, gram staining, number 2, cell shape, number 3, endospore, number 4, fastidiousness, number 5, key enzymes, and number 6, serological reactions and DNA sequence. Now getting into their explanation one by one, first we have the gram reaction. So gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria respond to different antibiotics. Other bacteria, such as mycobacteria, may require special staining techniques. So the gram reaction. Gram-positive cells have a thick layer of peptidoglycan in the cell wall that retains a primary stain called crystal violet. And gram-negative cells have a thinner peptidoglycan layer that allows the crystal violet to wash out on addition of alcohol. Now, gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria respond to different antibiotics. Other bacteria, such as mycobacteria, may require special staining techniques. Next, we have cell shape. Bacteria may be shaped as cocci, bacilli, or spirals. And we have endospore. The presence, the shape, and position of the endospore within the bacterial cell are noted. Fastidiousness. This refers to how certain bacteria have specific oxygen or carbon dioxide requirements. They need special media. They grow only intracellularly. So some may be aerobic, some may be anaerobic, and others may be. They only grow intracellularly. Key enzymes. So some bacteria lack certain enzymes. For example, the lack of lactose fermentation helps distinguish Salmonella from E. coli. Serological reactions. Interaction of antibodies with surface structures may, for example, help to distinguish subtypes of Salmonella, Haemophilus, and Meningococcus. Finally, we have the DNA sequence. DNA sequencing of key genes, example 16S ribosomal RNA or DNA gyrase, can identify the organism precisely. The classification systems are helpful, but strains differ in pathogenicity and virulence within a species, and there are similarities across species. For example, some strains of E. coli may cause similar diseases to Shigella sonnei.